All right, welcome to Business Beyond the Chair with yours truly, Lamont Brown, America's Barber Coach. And this is the platform where we challenge you, the barbers and cosmetologists, to take your business and your life and your career to a whole nother level, to a whole nother dimension. And like I've always said frequently, is your haircuts is tight. You know, I see some tight haircuts. I said some tight fades, barbers throwing the colors in there and doing some other stuff. And, they got the graphics and the pictures. They went in barber battles, traveling across the country from trade show to trade show, from New York to Vegas to Cali to Orlando. As a matter of fact, one of our guests that I'm going to introduce shortly is actually educating out there in Orlando, coming up, actually, fastly approaching. But outside of your haircuts being tight, we want to make sure that your business is right. We want to make sure your business is just as tight as your haircut. Okay. And so I want to share these words with you at the very beginning, to all my listeners, to all my viewers, to all the barbers and cosmetologists that's across the world that's going to be tuning in or tuning in now, that, my mission is to be a faithful servant to God's people, which is you all. And I'm determined to make that happen, mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, and politically. Why? Because one day I stood up and said that I was going to be a man. The M stands for me meeting my challenges. The A stands for me accepting my responsibilities. And the N stands for me never letting anybody or anything keep me down. And even if I fall down, like my mentor Les Brown said, if you fall down, try to fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. Let's do it, y'all. How y'all feeling today? Y'all good?
Pretty good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amazing. Better than amazing.
All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, and I just want to briefly introduce you all real quickly to our viewers. We got Craig Skills that's actually connected. You in Delaware right now?
Yes, sir. At my shop.
Okay.
I hope my I got these new lights installed 2 months ago, so I hope it's not too bright. I know it's shining on me pretty good, but they some serious lights, so I hope they're not too bright.
Yeah. We see you nice and good, Mr. Skills. Absolutely. Mr. Skills is definitely an iconic barber. Been making impact in this industry for double-digit years. Over 2 decades. Shop owner and also a barber educator as well. And he's one of the ones who I connected with years ago, sharing the same spirit, same vision, as far as making impact in this industry. Thank you for being a part of the podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
And then we have my man, Brian Thompson, who's from Red Level Entertainment, who's actually from Chicago, but he's in AZ right now. He go back and forth, and he's one of the top promoters here in Arizona and in Chicago, and has promoted a annual event. I forget what year it is, but annually an event out in the Dominican Republic, right?
Yes, sir. The Memorial Day getaway.
Yeah, absolutely. I be getting you and my man from Colombia, kind of mixed up on the destination. All y'all making some impact internationally. So, hey, I appreciate you, Mr. Brian, for being a part of it.
Man, thanks for having me, man, and gratitude meeting the brothers.
Absolutely. And, absolutely. And then we got my man Chef James, who's an expert and a guru in the financial service world, who can show you how to invest your money and accumulate that compound interest with his eyes closed. I think he can do it in his sleep as well.
Hey, we call it cooking up the money game, man. So
okay.
if I can't,
Yes,
I got a team that could.
Absolutely. We have some other fantastic guests that's going to be joining us as well, and I'm just excited to dive right into it. And as you already know, that the topic of the day is that you are your brand, and how to invest in you. And I'm going to say that again and put the all caps on it. You, which is all caps, YOU, is your brand. You are your brand. and how to invest in your brand. You know, I know a lot of times, you know, when we talk about building our brand, we're thinking logos, we're thinking marketing material, we're thinking of creative advertising platforms, whether it's social media, whether it's every door direct mail, whether it's radio, you know, various forms, and that all plays a part into it. That's why we got, you know, my man Brian on the podcast today to tap into that as well. But we want to look at this from a holistic approach, because if we are a brand, I think it was Jay-Z that said, "I'm a business, man." You know, I'm a business. You know what I'm saying? We are a business. You know what I'm saying? We represent our brand on and off the court, behind the chair and from behind the chair. You know, whether we're in a grocery store, at the dealership, at a concert, we are our brand. And if we are our brand, there's some other things that we need to consider. You know, when we taking a look at building our brand generationally, when we take a look at, you know, investing into our health, our physical health, we are our brand. And we want our brand to be around here, you know, for a while. We need to invest in our health. We need to invest in our mental health as well. You know, we need to invest in our financial health. You know, it's a lot of components that we need, that we often neglect when we thinking about building our brand. So let's kick it off with you, Mr. Skills. When we talking about building our brand, because you've been building the brand, and we're gonna uncover some layers as well, because oftentimes we find ourselves building multiple brands at one time. You know what I mean? So we're gonna tap into that as well. But you know, what comes to your mind, and what was your thoughts, you know, when you was you know, dissecting this topic of the day?
Oh man, I was thinking about it all day while I was at work. While I'm still at work, while I was at work, I was thinking about the topic all day and asking my clients about you know, what should I talk about and everything. But building a brand, when it first came to me, was like in today's society, going forward with the futuristic, and we playing with AI, building a brand has changed from when I started. And I say that building a brand, you know, how I move in my business, everything changes every 5 years. So if you don't speed up and change with the times, you kind of get caught up, stuck in a brand era, but you think is correct because in your 5-block radius or 25-mile radius, you still the man. But that don't mean your brand is moving.
Right. Exactly.
Being African-American male, young kids got into they thinking just because you got a T-shirt with a name on it, you have a brand. But that's just the T-shirt with a name on it. That's all it is. It's not a brand. So building your a brand is a whole environment and package, and it's 2 layers.
Absolutely.
Brand, and then it's yourself. You know what I'm saying? Most people are putting their self as the brand. My name is Craig Skills. That's my brand. But a lot of people don't know my real name because that's a whole totally different person. So that's when I walk in the office, they see that person, and I'm talking about Craig Skills, which is the brand. So it's so hard for any person to understand you're 2 people when you're building a brand. You yourself, and you're working for you, the boss of the brand you're talking about. So that's what you mentioned. Jay-Z. Jay-Z was talking about he is the brand, but he learned through the years that Jay-Z is a separate entity from who he really is. Jay-Z is a different brand. So once you get that concept first in your mind, which is very, very hard to get to, I mean, it's hard to get to that level. Once you get that level, you will understand. So I always tell people, we all watch sports and watch TV. One of the perfect persons that I seen do it in my lifetime was Flavor Flav. Flavor Flav, when he walked into the meeting, he dressed up in a suit. But if you want Flavor Flav, that costs some money. That's his brand. So now you start to see more stars. Everybody talked about Dennis Rodman. He realized it. When I walked out, y'all think I'm wild. That's my brand. And when I met him in Chicago, he was a totally different person. So that's when I started to realize, these guys playing a different business game that people don't see. So once you get to that level, some reach it earlier, some reach it later. But it's hard. Everybody don't reach it. That's the crazy game. You die with not ever reaching that you ever became a brand. You just a name on a t-shirt. So that's what I came to experience, want to bring to the table, and let you know that's where my mindset coming from and bring the brand. You have to realize first the difference of yourself and the brand. And with social media, I tell people, stop using your real name on social media. That's not, you're a totally different person. So like I said, a lot of people don't know my real name. They just know me as Craig Skills. So now everything is Craig Skills. That's my brand. You will never see the other person. That's personal. That's personal. That means, so now I can go home and my mental health is saved because I'm working on at home. I'm a different person over here. I'm a brand. So that's where I'm at with the brand game. And I'll just like to hear the other guys and see where their mindset, we can come to, if we all on the same page and level in our respective businesses in the United States. Mine went off.
Well, I'll hop right in. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
All right, cool.
Cool. I'll hop right in. I'm kind of in agreement with some of what you said in regards to the brand, right? Often people hop out and they have that microwave mentality. They want it to happen overnight, right?
Right.
See, a true brand is not overnight. Are there some overnight sensations? Some would say yes, but if you've really been doing the work, it's been 10, 5, 7, 8
10 years easy.
Behind that. Easy, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Right? Chef James is a brand, right? It's cooking with Chef James, the Chef James experience. When I show up, that's what you're going to get. Now, I use my name because I'm building this for my last name, right? I'm not building it for someone else. I'm not building it for somebody else to get the recognition or anything. I am building it for my last name. So when my name pop up or one of my kids' names pop up, they be like, oh, that's Chef James Watford. You know, I want you to know when that stuff pop up who I am, because there's going to be plenty of James Watfords that pop up. But Chef James Watford, or you hear, or you type in the experience, I pop up. So I'm always going to make sure that they say my entire name. The only thing that's missing in there is William, right? I come from a long line of chefs, and I didn't know this. I stumbled on this. I was posting on social media, and somebody was like, how you know my brother-in-law? I'm like, that's my great-grandfather. They was like, well, I'm so-and-so. He was a chef and da-da-da-da, but I had never met him. When you think about it, when you go back to your lineage, how many people know our great-great-grandmother or great-great-grandfather or something like that? Not too many of us know that person or have experienced any time with them, not just because of the age, but because it dies out. What was your impact? Right. So as I build this brand and now kind of evolving, I think it was mentioned, sometimes you build in two at the same time. So now transitioning from just being Chef James to cooking up the money game, because we started a financial service company and we're educating families on the importance of.
Hey, Chef, excuse me, let me interrupt for just 1 second, because I want to do two things real quick. I want to properly introduce my other guest, who's actually my wife, who's on now. She just got off work, teaching, cosmetology. She's one of the top educators on the West Coast from Beaumont, Texas. And I'm just blessed to have her in my life. And she's also a chef as well. And that's none other. And she got 20-some years in the game as well, and won awards across the country, and doing her thing. And I couldn't have this podcast without her. It wouldn't be effective without her. And that's none other than Roshonda Richards Brown. Hey,
let's go.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
She muted.
Oh, she muted.
Yeah, there she goes.
All right. Hi, guys. How everybody doing?
How you doing, miss?
How are you?
Hey.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, okay.
Hey.
Okay.
And then what I'm gonna do too, Chef James, is while you're talking, I'm going to be handling a little tech issue, but I want you to flow, do your thing, and then Brian, you can take us to how Red Level Entertainment, or just promotions period, can help take the brand to another level And then Roshonda, you can chime in as well as far as you being your brand. All right, take it away, Chef.
No, for sure. Like I said, just transitioning into that financial realm of things where we're not taught these financial things that we should have learned in as simple as high school, for sure. So now just taking that brand and emerging it is cooking up the money game. We're giving recipes to life, right? You're going to get some dope Chef James food recipes, but now I'm able to incorporate that into your financial world and show you how compound interest is a real thing. And generational wealth isn't you having a bunch of money in your pocket right now or someone just leaving it. You could start it. But the key is you just have to get started. You have, when I think about brands, something that was said today, you don't have to have $1 million to be wealthy. It's just you got to own something. So your brand is yours and you get to choose what you do with it and grow it how you want it to grow. So I'm not totally in disagreement with Craig's skills. I'm just to the point where now when you say Chef James, you know it's Chef James Watford. Because we're going to keep building it for our last name. So I'll leave it right there.
Absolutely. That's dope. That's deep. All right, Brian, talk to us about how we, as barbers and cosmetologists, a lot of times we don't invest, a lot in promoting ourselves. We depend on a lot of word of mouth and a lot of free advertisement, which is all that's good. But if we just stop there, we kind of limiting ourselves.
Definitely. Just first, I want to thank you for having me on the podcast. Appreciate you thinking of me. And so to speak on branding, I'm a firm believer that your brand represents you and the brand that you put out there. So personally, me, I very seldom use my real on social media because I want people to know my brand and not necessarily me. You don't have to know who I am, but I prefer you to know who my brand is. And one of the things that I kind of do is non-traditional marketing. So, what everybody else is doing, everybody is on social media. I'm in the streets with flyers. When people in the streets with flyers, I'm text messaging or emailing. So I try to do what others aren't doing to separate myself from what most people are doing. When it comes to barbers.
Let me throw this in there real quick too, B. I remember going to a bathroom at a place out here in AZ, and I'm using the bathroom and I see your stuff over the urinal.
Yes, sir.
So talking about introductional.
So that's another one of the things I do as far as non-traditional. So I partner with restaurants and nightclubs, and I put my ad frames in the bathrooms above each urinal and in the stalls, and we sell that ad space to customers that's trying to reach a captive audience. Some people frown upon it because you're in the restroom, but it's not the only place, but it's a place where you got a captive audience unless somebody's closing their eyes while they're doing their business. So when I don't have an ad in there, I'm running my ads. So people know that they can advertise, that they know some of the other things that I do, some of the events that I have going on. But I'm a firm believer when it comes to building brands, though, the key to doing that is getting your customers' information. A lot of people promote, but they don't have anything to track what they're promoting and who they're promoting to. So I always tell people, get an email, get a cell phone. Don't rely on social medias. Facebook will shut your account down because they don't like what you said, and now your following is gone. If you got that email or cell phone, you can always text them, you can always email them, unless your Wi-Fi go down. But you got direct access to your clients, and I'll stop right there.
Chef, you want to pick up? He froze up top.
He froze up, yeah. I think she froze, Miss Brown?
I'm here.
You You
I'm
want to
here.
talk about your stuff? Yeah, go ahead.
Is it my turn?
Yes,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
is.
Okay,
Yeah.
can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, cool. So talking about you are your brand. I think the most important thing about branding is basically having a plan. Like, know what you want to do. A lot of times we have a vision, but we don't know the necessary steps that it takes to actually bring that vision to life. So I would say have a plan. What do you want your brand to look like? And go from there. Also, more importantly, is something that I hear a lot of times people complain about their supporters, the people that
Mm,
supporting them. They need more support. Who got my back? You didn't show up. Well, this is what we need to do. Don't count on the supporters because we want to avoid some things. We want to avoid getting our feelings hurt. We want to avoid wasting time. And we also want to avoid deferred dreams. Okay, so recognizing your supporters is very important. What you want to do is with your brand, you want to give your supporters the tools that you need them to have to support you. Because a lot of times those supporters can be strangers. They want
Mm-hmm.
to help you so bad, um, but they just don't know how to do it. So
mm,
they want to ask you, what can they do to help you? A lot of times we mad at our family, right? Because they don't come through like we think blood is supposed to come through. That's why I mentioned strangers. Whoever wants to help you with your brand, let them. We shouldn't have this list. Mom, you posting your friend, you didn't
mm,
post me. Okay, Daddy, I spending the money. You posted your Jordans you bought, but you didn't post me. Sometimes, it, like I said, hurt feelings, wasting time, deferred dreams. It all comes from us paying attention to who our supporters is. And all you have to do is let them know what you need done. And I'm sorry, y'all, my students passing, making faces, asking me why I'm sitting here, all those things. Okay. Um, a lot of times people say that they want to support you, but they just don't know how. They
Mm-hmm.
don't know the movement. They don't know the motion. Hey, you got a shirt with your brand. I'm wearing my brand now. Give it to a friend. Demand things.
mm-hmm,
Hey, will you post me tonight? Did you enjoy yourself here? Go ahead and do a post. Tag me. Brag to some of your friends. So those things. Also finding your consumers. Who wants to patronize with you? I'm not trying to force you. It's something for everyone. If you're gonna support me, I want to know that you love what I'm doing, that you like what I'm doing, that you down for what I'm doing. So finding your consumers, finding where you're valuable, finding where you're in high demand, and just creating that traffic and just making sure that people love it. Keeping it consistent is another big thing with your brand.
mm-hmm.
People begin and then they fall off. Like, where are they at? Not only that, I see people provide a service and then next time I go back, it's not the same as I had before.
Mm,
Turns me off because I'm a real big person. I'm a reviewer. I know what I like. You can ask Lamont. If I go, I'm critiquing it to the T. And if I do like it and if I go again, then I want it that same way. I need it to be consistent. Being consistent where I like to say you got to be on the scene to be seen. Okay. I have to
mm-hmm.
see you. All right. You can be 100 times better than me. But if you're not on the scene and I am, who are you? Nobody knows who you are. And like Craig Skills say, he is Craig Skills, period. He can be in a grocery store, you Craig Skills.
Mm-hmm.
Red Level Entertainment, he can be out there working
Right.
out. It's Red Level, all right? When I go somewhere, people start talking to me about their hair. I'm the real stylist. I can't say, well, hey, I'm not doing it right now. No, I am my brand.
Right.
Who I am. Providing the same service every time, and as far as when you need to do it, every day you
Right.
should be
Yes.
promoting your brand. When people are asleep, you should be promoting your brand. Why? Because you want them to be the first thing that they see when you wake
Right.
up.
Right.
You wake
So when
up.
everybody's
Yeah.
sleep in
Right.
the REM state of sleep at 3:30, you should be up posting. Me, I know I guarantee you 4 a.m. I am in the restroom. I feel like all the
Right.
liquor that I've drunk for the day is telling my age.
Right.
So I'm in the restroom, and what do we do when we go to the restroom, y'all? We don't go to the restroom by ourselves no more. Cell phone is coming, okay? We want to be in. They're gonna scroll on social media in the restroom at 4 a.m. in the morning. So you have to catch them and say, "Hey, I know you're gonna go back to sleep, but at 7 when you wake up, you're gonna say, wait, I think I saw something, and I remember it because that is the
Right.
thing you saw first this morning." And also how your resources.
Right.
We're on a stream now. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. These are things that we're talking about that are free. They are free for you to use whenever you want to use them, however you want to use it. It's free. So just those resources, networking, cross connecting is very important. We talk about cross connecting. I work at a Veda Institute, and I have IKEA here. I can see the big, huge building there. There's a restaurant in there, tons of employees. So my plan for Veda is to cross connect with IKEA. I have a special for you. Here's my sticker. Here's a shirt. Here's a t-shirt. Come over. We have a special for you. Building my brand will always give something away. I don't think it's one person on this podcast that hadn't given something away, some kind of way, just so you can show up. And at the end of the day, just keeping true to your brand. We're talking about you, so it has to be you. And I'm saying that because a lot of time we're looking for investors, we're looking for supporters, we're looking for people to have our back, and we really have to differentiate the people that's looking for us or for themselves. Okay, it's a touchy subject in that matter. So I have to know that when you're with me, with my brand, stay true to it. A lot of businesses, they change because of that pressure, but staying true to your brand. This is what I have to offer. This is what I'm giving. Okay. That's my opinion on it.
No, I like that. Like one of the things you said, when you act, I say this all the time. When you active, you attractive. if you down there hiding, nobody know who you are. But if you active, you attractive. If you get in front of enough people, they're gonna start to notice you.
They're gonna talk about you.
As we say in this business, light yourself on fire and invite people to come watch you burn, right?
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that.
Straight up. So no, I think that's dope. I think that's real dope. And for me, I always like to see just keeping it 100, us supporting us promoting the businesses and talking about it, because I don't think enough of that happens, because it is enough room for everybody to get to it. What I do won't take away from you. So,
Absolutely.
Craig, how long you been cutting?
Oh man, I've been cutting since I started in college in 1989. I usually don't tell my age. Let me just say that I started in college in 1989. I was playing football, so I started in college. I was a super athlete, and I just fell into the barber business. After that didn't go well. I've been owning the shop since 1997.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say 70.
So I said not 1997. And then this place I'm in now, I've been here since 2005. This is my 5th location I opened up. So I've been doing it for a long time, and I've been on the road for thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a long journey. Sometimes when even if it's this title, like your brand, like I can't believe I've been in this business for this long time. I didn't plan to. It just was moving faster than I could catch up to it. It just kind of moved itself. So even a lot of guys that come work for me or come around me, they see how easily my business runs, because it's the system is running. It's really not the businesses. I have developed a system that's just my brand, which my shop is called Fat Cuts Hairstyling, and it took a long period of time for my system to get running like it is today. But right now it's running.
And I think one of the major keys to that is that discipline, right? You got to have the discipline to see the system through. A lot of people got that popcorn mentality that it just wanted to happen so quick. So they see somebody else, they're going to try it their way. They're going to do it this way. I remember, because I don't cheat on my barber, right? But when I moved to Houston, I was flying back to St. Louis to go to my barber like every month, bro. Because I just look.
Yeah.
Can you do this? I'll take a picture. Can you do this? And then they want to pull out the straight razor. Man, do it the regular way first. I don't want it to, you know.
Right.
But in turn, man, just having that discipline to stick to it, to go through the system and see it through. You know, too many people are looking all over the place, and you got to put some blinders on sometimes to achieve what it is you're trying to do.
Because one thing Ms. Brown said, consistency. I try to tell everybody, try your best. You know, I know it's hard today, society. Show up on time and put in your hours. Consistency, and keep that rotation going. Once you're consistent, it, like I said, it takes over. It runs yourself. In the hair field, barber field, so many guys are not. The biggest thing is consistency. They're not consistent. With the haircut not the same. They keep changing. They keep changing clippers. They keep adding stuff. Stay consistent in your pocket. It's like a drummer. Stay in the pocket when you're playing behind the preacher. He wants the pocket to stay tight. Consistency, and he can keep flowing. So as a barber, stay consistent. The clients are going to come. Consistent. They know that you're so dependable, but it's really consistency. So a lot of my peers that started out with me are not even in the business no more. Because they just consistency, they gone. So they look at me like, you still doing it? Yes, at a high level. It's consistency. And I keep, like I said, I'm a 5-year game. I keep rebooting every 5 years. So I don't try to stay stagnant in the same old game. And I just keep it fresh all the time. You know, and that's what keeps me afloat. I think it is. It keeps me afloat. Yeah, it's hard in the hair business. And I paint my shop every 5 years because I want a new look every 5 years. The clients is happy. My employees is happy because they look like it's a brand new place, but it's the same place. That paint job changes the focal point of the shop in the field. So a lot of people got the same old looking shops. So sometimes cleaning don't do it all the way. You need to just gut it out and start a new swag. Yeah. Atmosphere. Atmosphere is totally a huge situation. Atmosphere, the feeling.
I think that's dope, man. I often ask people this simple question that are entrepreneurs or self-employed or whatnot. What do you do with the money? Right? Most people, when you're an entrepreneur, you're like, I know a little bit of this, a little cash, this, a little whatever.
Yeah.
So this is what I talk to business owners now about, small and large. Where are you putting your money? What's the backup? And well, not even backup. What's the plan? Because a lot of us, we don't have a 401k that the job's paying into and things like that. So as you grow and you're being consistent, the money's consistent too, right? Where are you putting that money? So what's your answer to that? Where'd you put it?
That's a real hard question because like again, I always go back to my my culture. Most black men grow up. Most black men grow up in it's not their fault. They grow up in households where putting money up or consistent wasn't there. Even if you go to college, you still don't learn that. So it took me 15 years to understand it first before I even put money up. It took me 15 years to understand because money was coming so fast. It was going out so fast. Partying, clothes, finding chicks at the time, wifey, and money was coming out. So as you get older, I always tell people, young guys, 35 to me is the mark. All the 20s, you're going to, if you out focus, you're going to run wild. When you hit 35, you have to make a decision. More than likely, you got a girlfriend, y'all might get married. Now, do I stay in this career that I done burnt all the money? So now, do I start over at 35 to stay in it? Some people don't have a financial advisor, don't think they need one or know anybody. It's always an aunt and uncle, and they don't know what they're doing. Their stuff is messed up. So now it's like, get a job, a new job, and start over, I stay in it. So it took me a long time. So I just tell cats, don't be afraid when you walk past a spot that calls financial advisor to go ask some questions. African-American men don't like to be taught anything, afraid to ask that. So I always tell my guys, don't listen to me because you're not going to believe what I say. Let's go to a financial advisor, go to talk to them, and then come back and talk to me. So it's a rough thing today with black men in the barber business. A lot of them, when they get 35, they just leave and start a job over again. And I'm telling you, you don't have to leave. You just got to get your business in order. So that's why I'm a big guy in business order, and I like meeting guys like you, so they can call you for advice. I tell them, don't talk to me because you're around me all the time. Talk to somebody else, and then we'll talk about what they said before I give you advice. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you don't want to take it to people from you around, or you don't want them to know your inner business.
Yeah.
A lot of black men don't like to tell their inner business to people that they know. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, start off with a financial advisor and see what steps you need to take to for health insurance, 401ks, and get your stuff in order. It's okay to start at 35 again, but you don't have to go to a job so you want it done for yourself.
Exactly.
You have to put in the work.
Exactly. And again, like you said, ask questions, man. Like that's one of the most important things my mom told me. If you don't know, ask. Don't assume anything. It's okay to ask some questions. And even in the midst of that, like, you know, just talking about how money works. When you truly understand how money works, you want your money to work harder for you than you do for it. You want to put that money in the right place, in the right vessels, so that it can grow. Because we work so hard, like you said, most of us from the age of 18 until 35, you probably didn't have a couple of different jobs. You did a little bit of this, you did a little bit of that, and don't have a lot to show for it unless you have someone to tell you, hey, slow down, put this there, put this over there, and in 20 years, you'll see this is much more lucrative than you going out to the club whenever.
Right. Never focus on getting it done. Yeah.
And then there's
it's hard.
You said, a financial advisor, they're going to tell you some things, right? I encourage everybody, if you have never done this, do a financial needs analysis. It tells you exactly, it's going to put your goals in there, and then it'll give you your shortfalls. It's going to tell you, all right, this is where you at, this is what you need, this is what we need to take care of. And it maps it out to a T. It's that fine print, you know, that part where nobody really likes to read. Like if you ever went and signed a mortgage or a contract, it'd be like, just sign here, because it got all the writing.
All the stuff at the bottom.
Most of us just sign there because this just tells
they just want to get the key.
Rental. Yeah, but we are those fine print readers, so we analyze everything for you to put a financial map together for you to achieve those plans. So that's why I say now just transitioning from chefing, I'm just like cooking up the money game. I'm gonna give you those recipes that I know no one has shared with you, because we don't come from that. We come from put it under the pillow. Don't ask me about how much money I made. Right? That's where we come from. It's not that. You want to make sure setting your kids up isn't giving them everything that you didn't get. It's setting them up for failure when you do that, because they think that's what real life is. Setting your kids up is teaching them how money works, where to put it, to value that dollar. So when they are our age, they're in a much better place financially, mentally, and emotionally, that now they can provide and then share that with their kids. And that's how you start generational wealth. That's with this part first, before any dreams ever involved in it. So, Ms. Brown, no, go ahead.
Again.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go to.
It's my turn.
Yeah. Go ahead. I want to.
All right. But you know what? I agree with this so much, because when I first got my cosmetology license in 2002, I went to beauty school and I was pregnant with my first child, my first baby, Michaela, my little angel. I'll do anything for her. Okay. And I would work from morning to night. I mean, I was money hungry. I was stuffing those pockets. Back then, I didn't carry a purse. I just stuffed my pockets, both of them. You know, I still get sick, you know. But at the end of the day, hips was so fat from cash money. I would make so much money to where you would ask, do you care about that money? Because I wouldn't even laying it out straight. I would just stuff it in my pocket.
In the pocket.
I took advantage of the fact that I knew that I can make that money. And make that money right back. And I think our mentality is shot by that. You know, you might not have a good day tomorrow. Tomorrow might be a down day. You need a rainy day fund. You know, nobody's, like you said, in a household, in our culture, nobody is telling us those things. So, you know, stuff in my pockets without a savings plan, so without a financial advisor. And all I know is when I get to this mall, my little baby getting whatever
she wants.
At Dillard, I'm getting it big. Polo,
Right.
Oh, she gonna get it, and I didn't care how much it cost. And I did this before I even counted the money.
Mm-hmm.
Realized that I was doing it because I found myself at the end of the night saying, how much money did I make? Wait, let me go back in my appointment book and add it up. Now, that was very out of order and out of the ordinary. Somebody would like to say, well, I'm gonna be a millionaire when I grow up. Not with this kind of habits. You will not even be 1,000-aire. So, you know, I think that we need to invest in ourselves more with that money. Invest more. I'm headed straight to the mall. I'm gonna invest in Jordan. Let's see who else. Versace. Dealers got me. Okay, I just love dealers, y'all. I ain't lying. All of those brands got me, except my brand.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, we have to invest in ourselves. Even if we have to sit at home for tonight, we can't go to the party. I can't get the dress. I can't get the nails and the toes done. I can get them done. I can't get no diamonds on them. You know, just wearing out like that. And you know, living beyond our means, those type of things. You know, we gotta be committed to ourselves enough to say, hey, I'm going to invest in me. I'm going to cook my food tonight. I'm not going to eat out 3 times today because that money that I'm spending on other brands, I could be investing in my own.
My brand. Absolutely. Yeah.
And this is what I love that, because what I do for people, I ask a simple question. If at the age of 18, if someone showed you, if you were to put up $150 a month, and based on the age that you are now, I just always add about 35 to it, right? You know how much money you would have been saved if you was putting that money in the right place in a interest-bearing account, a Roth IRA with interest at about 6 to 10%. They're like, oh, I don't know. But if you was putting it in your bank, it's $441,000. Nothing to sneeze at, right? I'll take that. That's just sitting it in your bank. But if you was putting it where that money was working for you, it's $3.9 million. Now I asked you, Craig, how many times you done blew $150 in a weekend?
All the time.
All the time. All the time. But no one says stop. Let me show you this. Pay you first. Put this $150 over here every month. And by the time I'm 47, Craig, and you already told me you was a little older, but you don't look it, right?
I know everybody say that, yeah.
But by the time you're 47, James, you'll have $3 million. I like to think at 18, 19, 20, I would have been disciplined enough to put that up because I was blowing it just like Ms. Brown said, BMFing, blowing it fast, spending it before it even settled in my pockets. But no one ever told me that. So now at a real adult age, I find myself trying to play catch up. But if you can show your kids this at 16, hey, because most of them want to work, right? Cool. Every time you get paid, we're going to take 50. It's going to go into your Roth IRA or your money market account to where if you have an emergency, you can pull that out of that money market account without any penalties. But we're going to keep building this Roth. And by the time you get mom's age or dad's age, you're going to be like, man,
I got some paper,
this. Woo, come on, man. That's how we change. They don't want us to know this stuff.
Right.
It's by design.
It's by design. And I don't know. Well, I'm from the state of Delaware. You know, it's this bank crazy capital here in Delaware. And around the corner from me is where the building where the top Fortune 500 use incorporate their address. It's right around the corner from me. So all the top Fortune 500 companies' addresses right around the corner. The building's so small, but it's guarded by a guard 24 hours a day.
Hey, something going on in there.
Yeah. So Elon Musk just had a case in Delaware where he was in court in Wilmington, right? I'm across the street from the courthouse. And he lost the case, got fined. So he was so pissed at the Delaware judge that walks past my shop that he said, I'm moving my company to Texas. But he really wanted to stay here because of all the benefits. So I said to say so many African Americans in this town they just were so hyped to see Elon Musk, didn't understand the business that he was doing here. He don't have to be here, but he know this is the best business spot for him, his company in the United States to do business in. And people fly here all day, but they in and out so much. But this is the bank capital of the world. And when I tell cats about that building, they be like, I wonder why the guards out there so much. Exactly. Because everybody's big money address is there. So even to see it, or if you look it up online, Chef, and just punch in Fortune 500 companies building in Delaware, it's a documentary on it. You're gonna be like, dang, like everybody. And I tell cats, there's so many small banks here. When a young guy come here and he don't have anything of banking going on, it's ludicrous because it's every corner, so it's some kind of bank. You know,
and that's the thing.
corner.
Even with the banks, they gonna offer you a new bank account, right? Because they know
all
they
the
make
time,
money
yeah.
for your money sitting there. But not too
Yeah,
often
sitting
are
there.
they gonna say, "Hey, Craig, you want to open up a Roth IRA?" They're not offering you that because now they know. All right, you doing the bank a disservice. They want you to open up a new checking or savings. They offer you that every time you go in there. So
Right.
all I'm saying is to put people in better positions, we got to give them the proper questions to ask, right? Because some people just don't know what to ask. And if you don't ask, you know the old cliche, closed mouth don't get fed. So if you don't know what to ask, you're working at a deficit, man. And that's kind of how I just want to be impactful, one, to myself, but to my children, to people that I don't know. And going back to what Ms. Brown said, building my chef business, it was people that I didn't know. But it was because I was being consistent that they bought the sauces, they bought the recipes, they bought the recipe book, they bought the digital book. You got to have something out there, and you got to give people direction. Like some people will watch your video and won't hit like unless you say, hey, hit like and share it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right? You got to give some direction. And sometimes it's just because they got the scroller mentality. I'm just scrolling to see. And if you don't got it popping in them first 5 to 10 seconds, they're going to scroll on past.
Right. They're growing right yet.
Yeah. So it's posting with a purpose. Posting with a purpose out here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And using AI today. Like I have a mantra I'm teaching down in Orlando this week. And this year I started a class on how barbers can use AI to help their barber business. And when I had the first class in Orlando, in California, in Anaheim, only Black teaching. So I was nervous because I'm like, God, is anybody gonna come to this class? So I'm just sitting in the room and I'm like, ain't nobody coming. This is crazy. So people start coming in, and I was like, okay, I'm getting it popping. So now I got to get myself together, folks. So I asked, I said, why did y'all come to this class? They said, because your title was new, and we was just interested. Like this, it's a barber talking about using AI to help your barber business. So how I do that? So the title alone just was such a big draw, and I ended up having 30 people. And even though they on their phone all the time, they still don't know how to use it for the future that's coming. And when I told them what stuff that's going on, even the stuff that I'm just learning, because that AI stuff moving so fast, they was like, God, what's going on? So I tell everybody, we all on the phone, but have you used any of the AI chats and put in your name and see what comes up? That you don't even know what comes up about you online. So put in your Chef James name and see what comes up. You'd be surprised what the AI knows online about you. Because if you don't do it, everybody else is going to do it just to find out about you. So when you do that, you can, if you don't like it, you can type something in and post it, and it'll change because everything that you post, AI is going to bring it up to. So you can control what's the message sent on AI. So when they all did it, they were just shocked. The phone numbers was wrong, names was wrong, old addresses. I said, you can change it, but you didn't even know this exists. So you can't be found. Your brand is not found correctly. Look it up in Google. You're not even found correctly. So they were shocked.
AI is your media manager.
Absolutely. Yeah, I go to AI for so much stuff now, and I put in stuff, I search stuff. Sometimes it depends on what you put in because it's so technical what you put in, right? But in my shop, I don't know if you know the 60 Minutes had two guys on there. One guy he's the inventor of AI. He invented AI. So he was on 60 Minutes about 3 months ago. His message about AI and branding was like, we can't stop it. I'm mad I created it because it's unstoppable. It's learning too fast. So I remember that was in the movie. It's learning too fast. He said, look, we can't stop it. So you got the guy that did this for the last 40 years telling you, or you not watching it saying, you can't stop it. Well, so the guy said, can you shut it off? He said, nah, and learn how to stay on.
That's
you're
crazy.
Not even focused on that today. If you're not even focused and hearing that message, you're so far behind. You're not even paying paying attention. You watching the NBA sports game. You're not even paying attention to the business that's coming. So I researched him and said, God, this guy said can't stop. The other guy said, we are, like even online now, we are helping AI learn. As we on this right now, because it's listening to us. So everything we saying, somebody is going to figure out when somebody talk about anything in this title, it's going to spit out what we might say on AI system. So when like I'm telling you, I learned that. Now I know how to attack my game a little bit better in the future. Yeah. And that's money questions too.
Talking to one of my good business partners, he immediately informed me, you don't talk to AI like it's just a thing. You talk to it like it's one of us. That's how you get the best out of it. You don't, hey, you know, I need to, no, ask it like you would normally ask somebody, and it's going to spit it out. It'll learn you. And the more you utilize it, the more it's going to do what you just said. It's going to think for you. So as soon as you start, I think that's.
To hear that old guy speak about how he envisioned to work, what it's supposed to work for, and how it took over, and how he's just stuck in his mansion in the woods and just living, and he's even scared. So you know, I'm scared. He got me scared. Like, yo, you scared? I'm black. So
we've seen this before.
I know it's real.
We've seen this before. Every movie isn't just a good movie. It's a precursor to some stuff. That's just that's how I think. That's how I think.
You got to pay attention. I'm in the it's like well, Lamont knows because he's been around me. Talk to. I'm not in the weird state. I'm in the state of the president, and it's so funny because I know him, and when we had the ride store on my block, and I had to learn how to play with my shopping brand with him on his level, how to make him see myself in brand. My shop used to be, the black shop. We banging hip hop. Our pictures was hip hop posters up. We were swagging out, and he never turned his head walking to the train station. Like, we waving at this white guy. He's not paying attention to us until I changed my shop around. He thought it was a new owner. Appeal to him. So I'm not telling people appeal to the different nationalities. It's just a business look. Sometimes you got to have and grow to appeal to everybody. So if you want to say you want to follow Walmart or follow these big companies, they appeal to everybody. So I had to get to that concept for my brand. My brand needs to appeal to everybody. I'm not taking no shorts. Along that way, now you got to have the skill to back it up.
For sure.
Still, the hair business is the most racially played game, to more than the churches. It's just so separated, it doesn't make any sense. But still, the few know how to play the global game. It's only a few, and that's the difference. So I try to get my guys and everybody around me, and every time I talk, you have to understand the global game. We're in a global game now. We're in a 3-hour shift now. You have to play that game. Once you start understanding how that's moving, sky's the limit in your brand. And that was so when the riots happened, he called the guy that deals with a big time, he a billionaire. He said, how's the barbershop on 7th Street doing? I was shocked. Because I'm like, he don't even wave or speak. He just walk his blind self right to the train station. He don't say, look at it. But for him to even say that, and he was in that position, it was big for me. Even the guy in my shop said that he asked about it. I said, yeah, man, like, cause we must be, he's seeing the brand now.
Man,
we don't want to cut his hair. He's seeing the brand all the time.
People that all the time, no matter what, you got to stay on your A game, because somebody watching, not to just see if you're winning, but to see if you're gonna quit, to see when you're gonna mess up. They're not watching to see, because it's silent then, right? It's silence of the lambs. Nobody know nothing, but let you mess up, right? They wait for that moment to pounce on you. So
mess up, then you're gonna hear from them.
Oh, for sure, without any doubt.
About it too. That bad news travel fast. Good news is like slime. Hard to get out.
Bad news travel fast, yeah. And then with my brand, I learned how to play the political game with even from the councilman on up. So I learned how to donate in my brand name to their campaigns or to certain people's campaigns. So that changed the game for them too, because I opened up. Even though I'm not a billionaire, my money donating still pays attention to, okay, he supported me. So if he calls me, I need to answer that phone call. That's all I want. So I teach guys that just don't look at the political game, learn. You have to give up some money. It can't be like me $50 to their campaign. Cool. They know you donated. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. So in your community and you running your brand, I don't donate in my name. I donate in my shop name. So they know that shop, Black Barbershop, always donate to my campaign. So when that person calls, answer that phone call. We need to make sure they take together tight.
And that's what we got now, Waffer Inc. So that for those reasons right there, they know it's the company, it's the brand, it's the business that has that going. And man, I learned so much just on here. For sure,
we brand names. When we think about it, what do we have on that's a brand name that we're seeing? We should be in the home. I want to be a household name too. You know?
Right, absolutely.
I want to be a household name. Oh, I remember those stylists that I would hear their name. I'm like, Miss Lisa, who is Lisa? I don't know who she is. But to the store and to the place, and all I hear is Lisa. Who is Lisa? Now, really, I want them to be using my name like that too. And we mixing up cake. Your grandma had to have it. That brand name, just making sure, we live in true to our brand.
No, that makes complete sense to me, man. Like even when I first started chefing, I wouldn't post me. I didn't want you judging me. You knew it was Chef James' experience, but you never knew who that was. So it was nothing but the food, the pictures, the experience. Until it grew big enough, I can pop out and be like,
that's what you got to do.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me.
They'll support you, or they won't support you because it's you, or something like that.
Absolutely,
That's why most people you see the boss, you don't see the boss. You most of these major companies, the boss is not gonna come out and say, "Hey, I'm the boss." Why? Hey, plenty of people was like y'all said, watching for that failure. That everybody not watching to support, So
Another thing I did about before the pandemic, I think it was 2018, 2019. Like I said, I've been owning a business. I'm on my almost 30 years now. So when I was nearing 20 years, I called a friend of mine. I know so many barbers in New York. So I played the game with him. I said, look, bro, I'm moving to New York. I want to work in your shop and try to get my business up. But he didn't know I was doing the same thing as the show did, where it says undercover boss. So I did my own undercover boss. So I wanted to go back and bring an employee again, because I've been the boss for 20 years running the shop. So I went to a whole other city. I worked from Monday, Tuesday. I said, I'm going to go from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 months. I paid him up front. And I just wanted to listen to the employees again, talk about the boss. And I learned so much in 3 months about how he didn't even know I was doing it. I just pumped the game because I didn't want him to know. I didn't really cut nobody. I just wanted to be an employee to find out what the employees talk, what I don't hear about in my shop.
Yeah.
And I learned so much. And I always tell owners, if you could try to do that, find a shop where you can be an employee again, it will bring your ego, definitely your ego back down, but you will learn because you became an employee again one time.
That's some of that insider trading. They locked you up for that. So that was very strategic. You get to go, like you said, go back to the roots. Because when you know what the people want, you can always go back, right? Because some people forget where they came from, and
absolutely,
that be your downfall. Because again, those people wait for you to come back. Everything evolves, but when you take care of the people around you, and I tell my team this all the time, I love each and every one of them. It's not winning if I'm the only one walking across the stage collecting an award.
Right.
When it's 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 of us, and I'm not cool with just being second or third, because I know we can be number one. So are you willing to do the work? And most people aren't willing to sacrifice. You got to give up something. People don't want to make that sacrifice. You got to give up something to get where you're going. And then I always tell them this: for you to get to that next level, you need a sponsor. Somebody has to let you in that room or put you in that room to be with the right people so that you can continue to elevate. And who you bring along with you matters. If it's just you took a L. But if you brought a crew along with you,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
All right, is Mr. Brown still on this call?
I don't know.
I don't know where he went at. Did he?
I don't know. He disappeared. So this is what we're gonna do, y'all. It's 6:05. We had a great conversation. If he missed it, then I'm sorry, Mr. Barber Coach. I don't see him on.
For husband. Yeah.
I'm respectfully act in his place because I don't see him on. But yeah, we dropped a lot of gems just being genuinely passionate about what we're doing in our industry. And I like to tell people you can do it. You can do it all.
Right.
Get the right people behind you. And like Chef James said, hey, might just be you behind you for a minute. But I appreciate it. I appreciate us coming
Right.
talk.
Me too.
And this is what it takes. This is where it begins, us first spilling out this information, because I remember times when I did not know, and my question was, why didn't anybody tell me? I know that
Right.
question now, but then I was wondering, like, y'all didn't see me stuffing all that money in my You could have just tapped the young girl like, come here, baby, let me talk to you about something, but you didn't.
Right.
Because most of the time people won't invest in you because they don't want you to be better than them. They're stagnant in
Right.
one spot and they're not wanting you to move, and get ahead of them. So hey, we doing it. Congratulations, guys. Y'all big.
How you do?
We're gonna
Thank
be
Hey, Chef James, what's your Instagram?
Hey, Cooking with Chef James. I was just about to ask you. I follow back.
Look, make sure I know it's a J, but they got another
Cooking.
Chef J that do some other stuff when he go out there. So be careful with the chef.
Hey, Cooking with Chef James. And if you want to just add me directly, is livemore.net/Watford, WATFORD. But if you go to Cooking with Chef James,
with Chef James. Yeah.
All right.
Cowboy helmet.
I got you.
Listen, I'm gonna do what Mr. Brown would do.
I can't.
I'm gonna end.
Yeah, I'm talking about Cowboys hat. You talking about the football team? God, I'm like, it didn't pop up, and I'm like, the football team popped up. Okay. I'm thinking about a Cowboy hat. He's thinking of the Cowboys. Good Lord, I got you now. Yeah, I got you.
Here you go.
What did you say, Miss Brown?
Well, listen. I know Mr. Brown he have some friends, some successful friends with business ideas, and we won't stop. This our passion, to God. We taking risks for this.
I got one story about your husband.
Yeah.
So I was in Chicago with my other team. I used to be vice president, and we did a show up there with Ball Clippers. We was up there helping them host the show. It was a competition. So we there. I'm from Delaware. My boys from Philly. We was younger then. And we up there swagging. We up there in Chicago, these Chicago jokers. So your husband walks in. He had a white suit on. He had an all-white suit on.
He's a Leo.
So we was like, who this pretty joker right here walking in with a white suit on a barber competition? With a suit on.
On him.
So he came in with he had the Chicago street face. So they're like, I don't know, though. He looked a little rough. I like, that joker ain't rough, right?
Rough around the edges, huh?
So he said, my name Lamont. I said, what's up, Lamont? So after that, a lot of my guys was afraid to talk to him because Lamont has a when he don't smile, it's a real aggressive face. So a lot of guys like, man, I ain't talking to him. I'm like, man, he all right. I'm talking to him. So out of all of them, he still know him, but me and him connected more because I come from the streets too. So I was like, man, I ain't worried about that. And he was competition. He won. And we just always connected every time I came to Chicago like that. But it was so funny. I was talking, yo, you still got that white suit? You had a white suit. I said, what is this joker walking with this white suit on?
Man, I can just picture that because I know him well. Like I said, he's a Leo. But put it like this. What if you were scared to speak? And a lot of times we do that. We miss opportunities like that. Just I'm prejudging these people. Hey, this lady ain't said a thing to me, or she not looking my way.
Yeah.
So
it was good. That's why I wanted to share with you how we met the first time.
I want to make sure that he know that you told me that story. And so I'm gonna go ahead. It's 6:10. I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I'm gonna the way that he would with a motivational quote. All right. So my motivational quote is by Thomas Edison, and it is: "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time."
Hey,
So
let's
Thank
go.
you.
I appreciate you.
as many times then I wanted to give up and I didn't have that support to tell me to just keep on going and I could do it. And most of the time when you're doing something different and in our culture, they're not going to tell you can do it and keep on doing it. So I just want to say keep going. Watch out for us. We keep crossing supporting
I
each other.
hear that.
If
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, it's more
Right.
than just that one. So we can
For
do
sure.
it.
Thank you.
All right.
I
I
enjoyed
appreciate
it.
you. Thank you, Chef.
Appreciate
Peace up.
All
I'll
right.
be in contact.
Good evening.
Y'all.
Blessed week. All right, Craig. Signing off.